All right, Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha Kodash. I'd like to say double honors to my teachers, the men whom I've learned this truth from, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well, and also Shalom and salutations to the brothers out there of the hopeful elect that are preaching this word in truth and sincerity. Alright, so I'm the brother Shaquat from the branch of Great Millstone, Montreal, back with another lesson. This lesson that I'm going to be getting into today, is going to be inspired by Matthew, the 13th chapter, and specifically verse 57, right? Because we are in the stead as the prophets of the Lord. This is where we stand. Having no honor amongst those that we grew up among. Those people that we grew up amongst, man. And yes, we are. We believe to be the prophets of the Lord. Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, right? Because why? Because the Lord put the Spirit in us, man, to speak His words, and to speak them truthfully. You see, so we believe that we are those men coming back, right? Prophesying. And when you break down that word prophecy or prophesy, it means to say something before it happens, right? And you can only be inspired to say something before it happens and be accurate only if the Lord revealed it to you, man. All right, so let's begin in Matthew 13 and verse 53. It says, "And it came to pass that when Yahushua had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished and said, Whence has this man this wisdom and these mighty works?" Right? Because what we also have to understand is that Yahushua, he was where he was born in Bethlehem, right? He was born in Bethlehem, but he had to flee. Joseph and Mary had to flee because Herod was seeking the Lord's life, right? Because the Lord, the prophecy was that he was the king. A king was going to be born, so that Herod felt threatened, and then what happened? He basically put out a decree to kill all the males that were being born at that time, man. So Mary and Joseph, they had to flee from that, man. And then where they went, where they ended up was Nazareth, right? Where they ended up was Nazareth. And that's where our Lord Yahushua was raised, right? And that in itself is a stumbling block to some. It was even a stumbling block to others back then, right? Because, they thought our Lord came from Nazareth. He was born in Nazareth. That's why they're like, hold on, he doesn't fit the prophecy. The prophecy said that the Lord, the Messiah, will be born in Bethlehem. Some of the scribes and Pharisees, they stumbled at that, man. But that's Yahweh Shai for you. Depending on, who you are and how you handle the Lord, he could either be a stumbling block to you, or he could be a sanctuary, right? Like the scriptures say, he can be your comfort, or he can confuse you, man. Matter of fact, since I said that, let me get Luke 4 and verse Salakia. Where is it at? Right. You know what? Matter of fact, let me continue on in Matthew 13. It says, Matthew 13 and 54, and when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished and said, whence had this man this wisdom and these mighty works? Right. So Yahushua grew up amongst these people. They witnessed his upbringing. You know, they might have seen him as a child playing with one of their children, whatever, man. But the point being is that they seen Yahushua grow up. So they're like, yo, when was the point in time that this man gained this type of wisdom and was capable of doing such mighty works, right? And that's the case with us today, man. The men that are in the truth, right? You might have had particular friends and family that are actually astonished and amazed at the wisdom that you've obtained, right? And that wisdom is the knowledge, wisdom and understanding of the scriptures. You see, they marvel at that. Like, yo, what happened? But it's a spiritual thing that we have access to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. It's something that was handed down from the heavens, right? Verse 55, it says, is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Josie and Simon and Judas? Verse 56, and his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then had this man all these things? Right, so they were like, yo, we're familiar, we know this guy. Why is he, how could he do all this? This is not this Yahushua, the son to Mary, the brother to, James, Josie, Simon, and Judas, and his sisters? Why is he special? He can't be special, So they fell. The stumbling block was laid and they fell simply because they knew him. It was hard for them to accept that this was somebody special because they knew him. That's why Yahushua said this in verse 57, and they were offended in him. But Yahushua said unto them, right, they were offended because of our Lord. Right? Oh, matter of fact, let me look up that word offended and see what it said. So they were offended in the Greek.
Strong's G 4624, scandalizo.
Scandalizo. It says entrap, trip up. Wow, they stumbled, they fell. Yeah. They tripped. They fell at the stumbling block of Yahushua being the Messiah. It's special. But they fell because they knew him, to put a stumbling block or impute it in the way upon which another may trip and fall. Metaphor, to offend, to cause a person to begin to distrust and desert one whom he ought to trust and obey. Damn. To cause to fall away, to be offended in one, i.e., to see in another what I disapprove of and what hinders me from acknowledging his authority. To cause one to judge unfavorably or unjustly of another. Right, so they judge Yahushua unfavorably and unjustly because their judgment was, yo, we know this guy, so he can't be nobody special. That's not a wise judgment. That's not a favorable judgment. That's not just. But guess what? That was what led to their demise, man. And that's the case with the people that we grew up amongst. They stumble and fall at the fact that, oh, hey, I grew up with this guy, so he's bugging out. He's nobody special. Who does he think he is? right? That's their perception of us, those people that we grew up amongst, right? It says to be indignant. I don't know what that word means. To make indignant. Look it up. It says indignation. Okay. It says feeling or showing anger or annoyance at what is perceived as an unfair treatment, right? So that's how they felt, man. That's how these people feel, man. Our family. They're not pleased with the fact that we've changed, right? Especially friends. Your friends that you might have been doing whatever manner of wickedness with. They might feel and be angry or annoyed at the fact that, hey, you are doing better than them. You change for the better, man. You change to serve. You change your whole life to be geared to serving the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. They get they get irked, they get mad at that, man. But guess what? It's not you that they're mad at, it's Yahweh Shai, right? It says, the third definition, it says to be displeased, indignant. Right. So let's go back. It says, and they were offended in him, but Yahushua said unto them, a prophet is without honor, save in his own country and in his own house, right? So let's read that in the NLT. And it says, verse 57, and they were deeply offended and refused to believe in him. Then Yahushua told them, a prophet is honored everywhere except in his own hometown and among his own family, right? So you're not going to be honored amongst people that know you, that are familiar with you, your family or friends. You're not going to be honored for being a prophet amongst them, but you may be honored by somebody that has never seen you before. It says, and so he did only a few miracles there because of their unbelief, right? So that could cause somebody to stumble and fall and not believe in the Lord simply because they know you. But that's not always the case. There might be cases where people actually believe that the Lord is working through you, and they come into the truth and be basically, they come into the truth, man, and the Lord starts dealing with them. But that's rare. For the most part, that's not gonna happen. Because like I mentioned earlier, you might have been running with your friends, you might have did particular things that are like, that they think you can't recover from. They think you can't recover from. But guess what? The Lord's hand is not short that he's not gonna save, man. Hey, man. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to say call halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakudash. Once again, double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.